I feel like there should be something of me yelling at my kids. It's pretty much what I've become.
I'll put it on as the Easter egg. Easter egg at the end.
Oh, hey, dump. Dump. Oh, man. Never lived that down.
Never lived that down.
It's all right.
Welcome back.
I'm here. Oh,
we're Legends in Wrestling.
Legends of Wrestling?
Legends of Wrestling. That's not
Legends in Your Own Mind.
Welcome back to Legends in My Own Mind. I'm sitting here with the greatest professional wrestler in the history of Central Illinois. The one, the only, my man, your man, Benz.
Greatest of all time here. That's extreme. Who else do you try to butter up like this? Everybody?
Only the legends.
Oh, only the people
only
that
the
come
legends.
on the show. Hey, you're the greatest of all time. Do you buy it?
Do you buy it?
You
it's
don't.
Not important. It's not important whether you buy it or I buy it. It's important whether they buy it.
All right.
How could they not?
Subscribe, comment. The greatest of all time.
Thanks.
I'm good at that.
So we've been through 3 weeks, Benz. We've been through your entire career.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about how you became the wrestler that you are.
But yeah.
And we've talked about what you believe, your beliefs, your philosophies, how you approach this wrestling thing.
Right.
So if they don't know that you're the greatest of all time by now, I don't know how much telling them. I don't know how much more I can tell them other than just to say it straight up.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. I know you're lying through your teeth, but
I mean, never lie.
Yeah.
I might lie to you. I never lie to them.
All right. Well.
However,
mm-hmm.
I do not feel that we can get a complete picture of who somebody is as a wrestler until we dig in a little bit on their actual fandom.
Okay.
So, and you know, you were talking last week about how important it is just to have fun with this thing and just to enjoy wrestling. And I see too often when wrestlers, you know, independent wrestlers in particular, the disappointments and the frustrations that they go to, it not only sours their love of being a wrestler, it sours their love of wrestling.
Right.
And, you know, they stop, a lot of them stop watching and get bitter, you know, whatever else, and stop getting entertained by it. And so I always like to end, I'm just ignoring. I've been very anybody who watches my stuff knows where I'm at.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing to fix it.
So up to date.
But the idea is I always like to bring it back and to come back to being a fan and to
That's where it all started.
Yeah, you know what I mean, to kind of bring it full circle. So I like to end with you picking your Survivor Series dream team.
All right.
So,
okay.
Got 5 guys, traditional Survivor Series.
I'm not on the team, so they're
10.
still.
Nope, you're
okay.
you're the coach, the manager, team captain.
All right.
You're not wrestling. You're
it's
you're
Team
Mr.
Hogan
Fuji.
versus Team
you're
Flair.
Mr. Fuji. Yeah,
I'm Mr.
Hogan versus Flair.
Okay, but I'm Mr. Fuji. Got it. Cool. Hogan versus Flair. You're Mr. Fuji. Sounds about right.
This is your first pick.
Well, I guess since I'm Mr. Fuji, I have to say Yokozuna, but I'm not going to pick him. Oh man, first pick's going to be Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Yep.
Why?
He was my favorite growing up, man. I mean, he was.
You remember what made him your favorite?
I think just the way he carried himself, the way he vibed with fans, the way he was he was the good guy, but he also got in there and he knew everything he was doing. Everything he did looked perfect. Like not Mr. Perfect, but
excellence of execution.
Yeah, he was, and he did, and he made every match that he was on at that time when I was watching was I bought in every time. I'm like, okay, well, how's he gonna get to the sharpshooter this time?
Right.
And he somehow got there.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
Number two. Like, this is no particular order.
No particular order.
John Cena's number 2.
John Cena's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how come?
I mean, I compare myself a lot to John Cena as my.
And he wears shoes instead of wrestling boots.
Yeah, duh. I mean, think about the parallels with like John Cena's awesome. Like people hate on John Cena, but how long did he carry that company? Yeah. Number one. Number two. I mean, he's given more. He's done more Make-A-Wish for kids than the entire MLB, NFL, and NBA by himself. How can you not pick that guy for your team? Like I love John Cena.
Yeah.
He is what everybody should aspire to be. And now he may be an asshole behind closed doors, but I haven't seen it. So
yeah, and you haven't really heard that about. I don't think he is.
No, I don't.
I'm sure
either,
he's.
I'm going based on my fandom, people that I get up and get excited to see, and people that I get excited to see that I'm like, okay, let's see what you do next.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, he's going down the path of probably somebody else on my team, but
who's next?
The Rock. Yeah. It's just pure entertainment is what it is, and it's just me being a fan, like people who I like.
What's your favorite Rock memory?
When he turned corporate.
When he turned corporate?
Yeah.
Survivor Series 98?
Yeah. That was my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Halftime Heat. Just old school Rock that everybody forgot about before he started. The old school Rock was the best, man. Yeah. He was so edgy, but it kind of went by the wayside. Mm-hmm. He was always I don't think it went by the wayside because I noticed it and people noticed it,
right.
and I think that's what catapulted him to where he is today.
Absolutely.
But he was always the sadly second fiddle to Stone Cold when it came to certain things. But I would say they were parallel.
Yeah.
But he had it. The it factor is The Rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hear that comparison a lot, and people always say, The Rock, as popular as he was, I've heard McMahon say it, as popular as he was never quite Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, I don't know if I agree with that.
No, not at all.
I think as popular as The Rock was, he was never Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Stone Cold Steve Austin was there, he had a long career past when Stone Cold was kind of in and out, and sometimes he was general manager, and sometimes he was the sheriff or Raw.
Right, I like Stone Cold. I was never a giant Stone Cold guy. I never was on the the 316 bandwagon. I didn't have the Stone Cold shirts. I like Stone Cold more now as a podcast host and as a personality than I liked him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Which take that for what it's worth, but I enjoy him more now than I did then.
I don't disagree.
It seemed to me that he came off as, hey, this is Vince's kind of lackey.
Yeah. Well, I think he popped.
I don't think that lackey's the right word. I know I missed the word there, but
no, he was just kind of.
He hit at the right. Yeah, he hit at the right time.
Stone Cold popped so hard and so fast, and he was a bright light, but he burned out the quickest. Yeah. So I think it's hard to kind of compare because The Rock grew and grew and grew and grew, and I don't know. The Rock was.
To be fair to Stone Cold,
popular.
Some people say it's better to burn out than fade away.
Yeah.
So, and people always remember Stone Cold, and Vince to this day will tell you that Stone Cold was the greatest superstar of all time, and I will challenge that.
Stone Cold walked out 2 weeks ago on Raw. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months. I don't know. Stone Cold. I watched Stone Cold come out on Raw. A Raw crowd of people who probably, in all honesty,
weren't alive.
Weren't alive when he was as popular as he was. Certainly
heard the glass crash and
they went nuts, man. Yeah. They went nuts. They went crazy, and he walked out and he looked like more of a star. 15 years removed from his career
than when he was there.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I pop more at that new commercial that they keep airing. I think it was for Fox than I do for anything wrestling. The one where he's sitting at the table and the dude drops the glass and the guy goes, and they start doing like all of them. How we as a society have accepted these things as okay, like that DX chop and all this. I pop more for that commercial than I have for wrestling in years because I was like, it's the truth. This is it. Like the doctor sitting over somebody going like this. Oh, that's hilarious. But it's interweaved
true.
into
part of the mainstream.
Yep.
So anyway, The Rock.
Okay. Yeah.
Pick 3.
Okay. Well, hold on. We have 3, right? Bret, Cena, Rock.
Sorry. Pick 4. 4th pick.
This is where it gets tough.
This is where the real superstars come out to play.
Razor Ramon.
Oof, good pick. Good stinking pick.
Razor Ramon. Because Razor Ramon was I loved Bret Hart, but Razor Ramon was the first person that I actually was like, this is it. Yeah. Razor Ramon was. I know people are going to come on these things and they're going to tell you that they loved Ric Flair, but I wasn't old enough to enjoy Ric Flair. I can go back and watch it, but I wasn't. I know what happened when I watched those things. I wasn't in the moment and grabbing at those things. I wasn't sitting there waiting for stuff, but Razor Ramon was interweaved in all the best parts of wrestling, all the best times of wrestling. The first ladder match with him and Michaels, the bad guy. When he first did that first promo where he was in that fucking god-awful car, which I want, and those shirts and stuff, and just...
When he was doing Scarface.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yeah. And when he eventually made it cool to be bad, that was... Razor Ramon was my guy, dude. And Razor Ramon should be probably at the top of my list. Okay. But, yeah, that Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Scott Hall... The NWO, like he disappeared. He disappeared as Razor Ramon, not all the way through. No, Kevin. I mean, okay, yeah.
Let's turn it back. You like Razor Ramon. You like Scott Hall and the Outsiders.
I liked Razor Ramon. I like Scott Hall that showed up on Nitro.
Right. That was my point.
I liked alcoholic Scott Hall when they were teasing it, when they were just making fun of him on TV. When they're like, you can't do it, because he was actually probably really drunk, which is hilarious.
Well, I've heard Eric Bischoff talk about that, where he was like, if he's not going to clean it up, let's use it.
Yeah, and that's phenomenal. It's not for him, and it's sad, but it was funny. Sad.
And I think they probably hoped, like, if we embarrass him a little, he'll get his head out of his ass.
He saw his free booze.
Yeah, that didn't work. He was like, I don't have to stop drinking.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, but I mean. Yeah, he was the best, man. Razor Ramon was my guy.
All right, so you've got your number one, you've got your final pick coming up. I know it's a lot of pressure.
It is. It's really like
any
I have
honorable mentions you want to throw out there before we round out your final team.
Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle. Both those guys could be drafted. I don't know yet.
Can't throw them out as honorable mentions.
Triple H.
They're going to make the team.
Well, I have it down to 2 guys in my head.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at. And
okay.
Well, 3 guys. Rey Mysterio. I know, unpopular opinion. Rey Mysterio's definitely an honorable mention.
Okay.
He almost made the team. He didn't make it.
So you've got 2 in your head.
I have 2 in my head.
So you got to make your decision and then give us the runner up as an honorable mention.
Cesaro.
Cesaro? Yeah. Honorable mention?
No, Cesaro's the pick.
The pick?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How come?
I'm just entertained by him.
Yeah.
His freakish power is awesome. You can tell he works. He cares about what he does. I think he gets overlooked a lot. I'm just always entertained by him. He has not had. He gets put in shitty spots and makes the best of it every time, and he keeps getting overlooked. But yeah, he made my team.
Killer.
Honorable mention, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton?
Yeah.
I like Randy just fine. He's just way far out of my
Randy Orton, honorable mention. And now Randy Orton made my thought process because I take a lot from seeing guys live and how they interact in a crowd that's not on television. All those guys that I can remember from a house show really stick out. And like Bubba Ray Dudley, that dude, I could hear him when I was in Florida, when I was living down there, I was the only one of people that I knew that wanted to go to the wrestling show, so I bought a ticket and went myself. I was in the top by myself, sad, pathetic, get it. But I was watching it. I could hear Bubba Ray Dudley yelling in the back row, because I just bought the cheap seats. And I could hear him, and that sticks out to me from that show. Every show, somebody sticks out. Like there was a show here in Springfield, Alberto Del Rio jumped out of just said, nope, I'm just jumped out and went through the crowd and just wandered around until it was 9 and then jumped back in and did it again. It was hilarious. And I was like, well, you did something different that I haven't seen, and it stuck out. Randy Orton made his match. I went to Champaign, which is the Assembly Hall. They call it State Farm Center, but it's always going to be Assembly Hall. Randy Orton was wrestling in the main event, and I just remember going, this guy's giving everything, even though it doesn't matter right now. And he did. I could see everything he did. He was selling everything. And even then, there's a reason that he gets put in the positions he is. He's he looks the part. He's a consummate, I guarantee he's an asshole. Guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, if that's the way you want to be outside, cool. Just be the biggest asshole ever. But inside there, there's a reason he's put in those spots, and he performs, and he always is. He's always in the best shape, and I just think he deserves a spot in the conversation on my team.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that to discount it. I was just saying.
Oh, it's a weird pick.
Not that high on mine. No, I think he's a good pick. I think he's a good pick. I think he's a good wrestler. I like Randy Orton. Yeah, for sure.
He's a fantastic wrestler. Yeah.
Benz.
Who did I miss on?
Who'd you miss on?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's your crew.
Oh no.
Your crew, your team.
The internet's gonna type, you forgot Benoit.
I don't think so.
No, I didn't.
Benoit hasn't been on any of them yet, and nobody said anything. So.
Oh no shit. Weird.
Benz.
But you didn't say Eddie Guerrero.
That's it.
No, I didn't.
We're at the end.
Yeah. Well.
Man, thank you so much for coming out.
We can do it again. I'll just put a mask on.
You'll do it again.
Yeah.
El Benzerino.
No. What's my team name?
I don't know. I don't have your team name.
Yeah. See.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
You can't put me on. You can't put me on this.
You tried to do it to me earlier.
I asked you what your team name was.
I didn't think about
it.
You put me under pressure. You put me under pressure to say, pick out this. I had a whole group of people, but they were independent wrestlers that I wrestled with, and I'm not on the team now, so I have to pick people that I grew up with. What the are we doing? Give me my team name.
You'll be Benz Motors.
This show's fucking over.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I will be back next week with a brand new legend. Anything to say before we leave? Anything you want to leave them with?
No, thank you.
No? Thank you, man. Thanks for doing it. I love you too, brother. You know.
Yep.
Guys, and thank you for joining us. I'll see you guys next week. Benz will not see you next week.
Bullshit.
Benz is just gonna become my mascot. You can be my sound guy. We'll just.
I don't know how to work that.
I'll put you. You know what? From now on, we'll put you back here. You can be the standee.
I can be the goat by the goat. I'll be the goat by the goat.
Yep. You and Michaels the whole time.
Yep.
Michaels, Jordan. You and Jordan.
Michaels, Jordan.
Goodness gracious, this is falling apart quick.
Michaels, Jordan.